He said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. If you want, consciously you can evolve in this evening. There is no limit as to how a human being can become. This is something that every human being must do. Then coming together will be hugely rewarding. When Gautama, the Buddha, was asked, is it better to walk alone or in company? He said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. Well, that's him, not me. He was quite sure that only a fool will walk with you. So he said, it's better to walk alone than to walk with a fool. Certain lore in this country says, when you want to do a short and quick journey, walk alone. When you want to do a long journey, walk in company. But the important thing is, who is walking with you? Not always being together is a good thing. Many times, being together can be a nuisance. So, first and foremost, unless you are a twin, even then, we come alone and we go alone. If one does not know how to be by himself or herself, then being together can be a lot of nuisance. We are referred to as human beings. Human beings means every other creature is what it is simply because of what it does. But a human being can simply be, which is a unique quality of the human being, that we can simply be, that we are not compulsive action, that's what it means. Our action is conscious and judicious. But generally, when people get together, generally, people are in compulsive action. It can be an association where there could be a purposeful action, or it can be a gang where there can be more purposeful action, or it can be a crowd which can be a compulsive action. So essentially, to be human means we have reached that point of evolution within ourselves that if we wish, we can simply sit here, just be. We can consider as to what action to take and what not to take. This is definitely individual. When individuals come together, we say, it's we in plural, but still it is individuals who have to come together. To be an individual means you are not further divisible. That means you're just one. People find different ways to divide themselves within themselves. In India, with 10,000 years of cultural history, we have invented various words to divide ourselves. It's very common for people to talk in terms of Atma, Paramatma, Ahankara, this one and that one. But every culture has this in their own way. When things are going right, when good things are being done, if you ask people, they say, yes, I did it. When things don't go right, when things go wrong, then they will try to find somebody. If they don't find anybody, He is always there. When they are very wonderful, of course they take pride in being how wonderful they are. When they turn nasty, they say, "It was my ego." Mr. Ego is always a fall guy. So individual means, but if I'm wonderful, it's me. If I'm nasty, it's me. All of you. Are you 24 hours wonderful? Hello? Are you 24 hours wonderful? No, sometimes wonderful, sometimes nasty, sometimes beautiful, sometimes ugly. It's okay. If we understand it is me who is capable of being absolutely wonderful and it is me who is capable of being absolutely nasty another moment, then gradually the number of moments of nastiness will keep on receding. If I see what is wonderful is me, what is nasty is… In India we have many words, it's my karma, what can I do? Now, you must fix this. Being an individual is very important, that means you're not further divisible. If I'm wonderful, it's me, if I'm nasty, it's me. If I succeed, it's me, if I fail, it's me. You have to fix this. I'm just asking you a simple question. Within this, how many people? Hello? How many people within you? One, two? Only one. If you're one, you're normal human being. If you're more than one, you're either schizophrenic or you're possessed. You either need a psychiatrist or an exorcist. But you will see whenever things don't go right, another guy will pop up from somewhere. So, becoming an individual means you killed all those pop-ups and just said, "This is me." This what is me has many dimensions. If I don't see this as an individual, I cannot divide this further, then transformation will not happen. If transformation does not happen, if people come together in that state, there will be more mess than solutions. All creatures hang out together. Whether it is various wild creatures, most of them hang out together. Even monkeys who are just one step behind us, they are also in bunches. It is only human being who can sit alone and transform himself or herself, because this is the prerogative of being human, that we can simply be. This is why you are called human being, you're capable of being. You're not in a compulsive state of activity. If you want, consciously you can evolve. In this evening you can evolve, if you're willing. It doesn't take 1,000,000 years, because our evolution is not biological anymore, our evolution is conscious. For every other creature, it is fixed. Nature has fixed two lines within which every other creature lives and goes. But once you have come as a human being, there is only bottom line, there is no top line. There is no limit as to how a human being can become. So before we associate ourselves with people, it'll be good every day in the morning or a certain period of your life, if one withdraws to spend a little time with oneself and see how, in what ways can this be little better than the way it was yesterday, this life? How it can be a little better life than what it was yesterday, because most people are coming together for their needs. To fulfill needs, people come together. Some people come together to fulfill a purpose or a cause. Some people come together to eat, drink and be together because they cannot be alone. This is something that every human being must do. A certain period of time, you do one thing, just 24 hours, take a break from everything, not today, right now you're among people. You take a break sometime, just 24 hours. And don't read, don't watch television, don't use the phone. Simply sit in your room, alert, not sleeping. And if you watch the nature of your mind, you yourself will certify, this is a madman. Because for most people, their mind cannot stay on any one thing. Unless they're in activity, simply they cannot be here. In compulsive state of psychological activity is on. When you are like this, you cannot be. That means you cannot be a human being. Being has to happen. Only then togetherness will be very rich. If you know how to be by yourself, then coming together will be hugely rewarding and of tremendous value. That means we came together consciously.
So, when you say marriage versus live in, what is it? Uncommittedly you want to live in, that's all, isn't it? You don't want to live in a committed way. I don't think living in an uncommitted way together is a good thing. Nor is there any… I'm not saying marriage means some pujari has to come and say mantra for you. But it must be a committed relationship. If there's no commitment, there's no real sense of respect. When there's intimacy, there must also be respect for the other person's body, mind and everything, isn't it? When you say, I'm not committed to you, whenever I feel like it, I'll walk out, there is no sense of value and respect for the other person, isn't it?
We are trying to fix it with morality and it's never worked. People who are moralistic are always looking archaic for the new generation of people, isn't it? We need some sense in the planet. These righteous people are always a trouble. See, morality. Morality has become an important thing in the society because people have forsaken their humanity. If your humanity was alive and active, you would not need any morality. People have put their humanity to sleep and trying to behave like human beings with morality, and it's not working, because everybody will come up with his own morality. And your kind of morality and another person's kind of morality is at war all the time. What is right and wrong, if you open this debate, you will end up with a fight, even within your family, believe me. Yes or no? No? If you start a debate as to what is right and what is wrong, whether it's in the world or in your neighborhood or within the family, fight is inevitable because no two people can agree on what is right and wrong. And it's never been settled ever because no such thing exists. Instead of trying to be right, why don't people try to be sensible? We need some sense in the planet. These righteous people are always a trouble. Once you have a strong set of morals, you will see nobody in the world is all right. If nobody in the world is okay, you have a psychological problem. The first sign of psychological imbalance is you start thinking nobody is okay. So morality is just that, it's a first step towards insanity. You just have to stretch it. If you stretch it, you will go there. Maybe you won't stretch it that far, you're willing to bend it, so you manage. These are substitutes for humanity. Why is it our education systems, our social mechanisms, we are not doing enough to stir up humanity in a human being. We are trying to fix it with morality and it's never worked. All we will do is divide people into different kind of moral sects and they will always fight. because nobody can fit into your morality because even you don't fit in actually, unless you are smart enough to subvert it secretly. Do you understand? Otherwise, it doesn't work because morality will not just stick to your profession, it will enter every aspect of your life. Once you start thinking, what is the right thing to do in my profession, you will also think what is the right thing to do on all levels of life, isn't it? Once you start thinking, this is the right thing and somebody else thinks that is the right thing, there is going to be a conflict and a constant conflict. If you stir up the humanity within you, you will do the most sensible thing that's needed for that moment, and that's all that matters. That your actions are in context with the realities in which you exist. And the context is always changing. If you don't change according to that, people who are moralistic are always looking archaic for the new generation of people, isn't it? They wonder why this guy is still alive. Yes. If you're very moralistic, even your children will wonder, why are you still alive? Because you look like you're from somewhere else. So what is the most sensible thing to do? What brings well-being to you and everybody around you? This is all one needs to look at constantly. Is there some way to fix it? There is no way to fix it. We have to be alive to it. We have to be alive to it every moment. And as the context changes, what we do has to change.